Where's AEW? It's not about counting. It's about.
Yeah, you know this. You think you can tell us what to do, huh? You think that you can tell us what to wear? You think that you're better?
You're damn right, Jay.
Get ready and bow to the master.
Have 379,000 points to face John Moxley.
Break it down.
What's going on, guys?
We just got tired of doing what you told us to do, and that's the breaks, boy. Yeah, that's the breaks, little man. I said break it down. Generation X. Generation.
And welcome to the Smackdown Show-Down. What's going on, guys? Venomous Vincent, alongside as well, not Mad Dog Kelly this week. This week I have a special guest, the Great Grandslam Poobah. What's going on, my friend?
I am well. I'm glad to be a guest here for the Smackdown review show. The how did you say this? The Super Showdown,
Smackdown Show-Down.
Smackdown Show-Down. I am glad to be a guest here. I've left my shoes at the door, and I am ready to be a decent guest.
Well, I got to tell you, we are. I cannot wait until we are done with this overseas baloney BS that they're doing to us. Even though the show comes on at 3:00, which makes it easier for us to watch it, I still, with my work schedule, find any other way to watch the show at 8:00 when it comes on regularly. But I can't wait for it to be out of the UK, Europe, and go back to normal times. Because this throws me off. I mean, Raw's throwing me off. This is throwing me off. So I like things to be normal. So we're starting the show off. We're in the UK now. First time that and I didn't know this tonight. Maybe you didn't know this either. Drew McIntyre is the very first British undisputed champion of WWE.
Didn't know that as a fact. No.
I heard that tonight. He is the first undisputed WWE champion that they've had.
Okay. Good for him. Hey, kicking off a trend. Good for Drew. Deserve it, too.
He's come a long way, don't you think? He has come a long way from when he was in that group.
3MB.
Oh God, huh?
The 3MB. I said
yeah, but
3MB. Yeah.
But wasn't he also in a group, United Nation group with Sheamus and?
Oh no! That was only for, I forget what WWE game it was. I think it was
12. No. I'm saying that was a group. It was Sheamus, Alberto Del Rio.
Oh no, he wasn't in that. Oh, United Nations or something like that. It was Sheamus, Del Rio, Rusev, and Barrett. He wasn't.
Okay, so he wasn't in that.
Mm-hmm. The only group WWE was, he was with 3MB. I know in TNA he was in another group. I forget what the name of that was. I was in and out of Impact, TNA, however you want to call it at the time. But he was in that group.
I love how these guys leave WWE and go to the Indies. And I mean, listen, I'm not trying to sit here and assault anybody, but really they really don't do anything but get bigger outside outside of WWE, which I still don't understand how that works. Like, you're in one of the biggest companies in the world. You leave the company and you get bigger on the indies where like nobody cares to watch except for like the people that don't really have jobs and they're a bunch of nerds that watch this stuff. I'm confused on that. And then they come back and the biggest thing ever.
I mean, look, sometimes you gotta go away from WWE. I look at someone like Drew McIntyre, Cody Rhodes. These are like two great examples. I'm pretty sure there's some other ones, but I'll use these two as an example. Drew McIntyre got let go, and he said, "I'm gonna go back to WWE." Got into the best shape. He was doing it on the Indies. He was doing stuff on United, the British scene. I forget exactly, but he was doing stuff like that. He was in TNA, and he made a bigger name for himself that WWE said, "Hey, we got to get you back," and they called him back. So when I hear that, I just simply go, they had to go away, rebuild their image, their name, change up. Same thing with Matt Cardona. I was watching some of his stuff out here in HOG, House of Glory, and and not only just that, but GCW, and they did stuff where WWE had to call them back. Now it's up to them to remain there, because they have been people who've been called back. Jinder Mahal, and he was cut, but Drew, Cody, they're killing it. So yeah, they just had to go away and reinvent themselves.
We opened the show up with Drew McIntyre coming out to his hometown crowd as the champion. Fantastic fireworks show. And it's funny how they only do it for the champions, not much for people that are not champions, except for AJ Styles,
As it should be. I mean, I don't think everyone should have pyro.
No, I'm not saying that. But like AJ, he gets fireworks, Brock gets fireworks. Like
it's Brock, AJ, Brock. I mean, these are some high tier names. Anybody else?
Crowd. I feel like the crowd really solid for Drew McIntyre. Until he tells the crowd that they're a bunch of traitors.
I love that. Good.
He definitely pissed off the crowd tonight, calling them traitors, and they only want to be there when it's time for that's right. They cheer for him, and then they cheer for the stupid yeet with Jey Uso, with Cody, and his referee match after he gets screwed. So he was pretty much dissing the crowd and the fans for just being bandwagoners. And out comes Randy Orton. This man, it's funny, and I'll get to this more when they start the match, but Randy Orton comes out, and he says his piece, and then they get into a little altercation. Doesn't oh yeah, that's right. Jacob Fatu jumps the guardrail. Drew McIntyre, jumps the guardrail to go back in the backstage. Then here's where it got confusing. I totally forgot that the Miz was in the match against Randy Orton. So here comes the Miz doing a skull crushing finale, and I'm like, wait a minute, is you just sending anybody out and we're beating everybody up? Is that what this is, like a battle royal? Is this how we're gonna introduce the battle royal this year? Like, hey, I'm in the battle royal. And then I heard, what was it? His name, Joe. What is it? Joe
Tessamore?
Huh?
I think it's Tessamore or Tessable. I always say his last name, but I know you're talking about the announcer.
He says this is a number one contenders match, spot. A match, and I was like, oh, okay, I get it. But I wanted to talk about Randy Orton because, both Randy Orton and The Miz, and I mean, you've been a wrestling fan for a while. Let's start with The Miz. The Miz has come a very, very long way since he got introduced in WWE. I mean, if you remember, The Miz was on Road Rules on MTV. And even on Road Rules, he was telling people he wanted to be a WWE superstar, and everybody thought, hey, this guy's a joke. Everybody wants to be a certain somebody, but only certain people can be in that in that role. So the Miz made his debut on Tough Enough, and it all went from there. But you gotta realize, like, when this guy came in, he was kind of a joke. Like, nobody took him serious.
Nope.
So, but then he learned the craft. He got really good. He figured his repertoire of moves, and he became a champion. Which, I mean, when he came out, I pretty much put him in the category as Maven. Like, like Maven didn't really make anything out of himself. Like, Maven came in, he was in the Rumble. Like, he really wasn't there longer than they fired him. Like,
I don't even think it's comparable. Maven.
No.
Maven, Go ahead.
I'm not comparing it in action wise. I'm comparing it because they both come from Tough Enough.
I mean, but that's where the comparison stops there. They both did Tough Enough. They're both winners of Tough Enough. Maven had that one moment in the Royal Rumble. What was it? 2002. It's my favorite year of professional wrestling, honestly. Well, maybe WWE because that was all around. But he had that one moment, and then you look at Miz and his body of work, and look, I don't think anyone's gonna ever think Miz is nobody's gonna look at Miz as some technical masterpiece or anything like that. I mean, he's had some pretty good matches depending on who he's in the ring with, but his body of work, his longevity, the championships. I mean, it's night and day, apple and oranges, sun and moon.
You believe he was the first Grand Slam champion?
He wasn't the first. No, Shawn Michaels was, but he's
wait. Hold on. Shawn Michaels didn't win the U.S. title.
Well, you gotta remember these are championships that wasn't around at the time.
I'm talking about first Grand Slam, like every championship. The Miz.
Yeah, I've heard it being Shawn. You could look it up, but no, Miz is the first. I want to say he's the first 2-time or back-to-back Grand Slam because I think that's a thing now.
It was something he was the first time.
It was back-to-back. Like he did it back-to-back. Won all these championships back-to-back.
And then let's talk about Randy Orton. Randy Orton came in. He was part of Evolution. He
saved his career, if you ask me.
And then they made him world champ.
Yep.
Wasn't he the youngest world champ at the time?
He was. He won although they're two different championships. So when the youngest champion at the time, I don't know if it's changed since, was Brock Lesnar, but he won the heavyweight championship 2004, and they said, well, he's the youngest. They said the youngest champion, and I've always felt like it was just their way. Since Brock left that year, they were like, oh well, we got to remove that record from Brock and give it to Randy Orton. So yeah, Randy Orton has done some things in this thing called professional wrestling.
Yeah. So then, even Randy Orton now, I mean, he's close to his 50s. I believe he's like 47 or 48. He's up there.
He's older, man.
He can still move in the ring, like, and he's still doing the same. I mean, I'm sure he's changed it a little bit, but if you watch his style, he's still doing the same drops and save movement, which at his age, I've seen a lot of stars switch their styles because they don't want to get hurt as bad. But I mean, Orton, I think with Orton, because he doesn't wrestle so much, like can you call him a part-timer?
I mean, I think you could say that. I think they're also trying to reserve Randy Orton, like how you said, Randy Orton's he's older, and he also had that back injury where he was out for a long period of time. I don't even want to
almost a year and a half. Yeah,
he missed a lot of time. So I mean, and also too, Randy Orton has earned that. He earned that position where he can, hey, we can sprinkle Randy in when we need him. He don't need to be on every card or every SmackDown, every pay-per-view, however you want to word it. He don't need to be there all the time. Treat him like an attraction. I mean, like how you said, he's been here for a long time. 2000, I remember when he debuted. It was episode of SmackDown 2002, and his first match was against Bob Holly or Hardcore Holly, and he beat him with a crossbody. And now Randy Orton is not doing crossbodies anymore. He's a little bit. He's a lot bigger. Bigger meaning he put on some mass, and he just changed up his style so that he can go another 5, maybe another 10 years. Who knows? I don't know how long he wants to go for, but yeah.
Okay, so we got Miz and Randy Orton, first qualifying match for SmackDown tonight. I think it was a very quick match. I would say under 10 minutes. I feel like the Miz got some moves in, but I mean, let's just be honest. We both knew that Randy Orton was going to win this one. I mean, there was no doubt about that the Miz was going to pick up the victory on this one.
Yeah, I mean, they were touching up on when Randy Orton returned and he RKO'd the Miz, and they just wanted to tie up that. I don't even know if you want to call it a feud, but that little scuffle. I didn't see the match, but I expected Randy Orton to go over. Miz was just there to be a body for Randy Orton to beat up, and that's fine because that's what Miz is at this point. No disrespect to the Miz. I mean, he's accomplished so much, but he's just there right now just to be a foil for somebody, and he gets foiled.
Yeah. Now, all these matches tonight, almost all the qualifying matches were very, very short tonight. I think the only match on the card really that was long was the U.S. Championship match, and I think the Charlotte.
Talk about that.
The Charlotte one was all right, so we got a couple promos in the back. You know, we got Alexa Bliss and we got Charlotte. We got a promo for MFTs. They did a promo. We'll skip all that.
Sure.
So let's talk about this. I want to talk about this new tag team because I've seen them before, but I don't really know who these women are. You know what I'm talking about? These two the women that faced Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair tonight.
Oh, you're talking about Julia and Kalani, not Kalani. I'm sorry, I'm messing
Yeah,
up.
Kalani James.
Kiana James. That's her name.
Are they from NXT?
Yeah. Kiana was called up a year or two ago, and she was out with an injury, and they paired her up with Julia, but Julia came from NXT. Yeah.
God, she's a beast. She's
I mean, she's something, right? She's
yeah,
talented. I mean, I think that they're trying to rebuild her, and I know a lot of people are skeptical about this, but I hope that they continue to build her up because I think she's a talent. I mean, there's a lot of talent that SmackDown have, and I like to use the word as players. Like you, these are people who can be your top attraction, or and I say main eventers, but like featured superstars on your show for the next 5 to 10 years. So if you play your card right, you got something there. So yeah, no, Julia is she's fantastic.
This was actually not a bad match. You know, I say this all the time. It's very hard for me to watch Charlotte Flair wrestle in this day and age. She's definitely not the Charlotte Flair that we saw against Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks when they did the triple threat match. You know, she's definitely not the Charlotte Flair that we saw facing Becky Lynch at WrestleMania. I mean, she went away for a little bit. She got married. She got divorced. She came back. Now she's wearing two leg braces. So, I mean, we can definitely say that, you know, the ring has taken a toll on Charlotte Flair. But when she came back originally, she was very slow in the ring, very sluggish, wasn't really doing too much. I think now that she's coming back on a full-time schedule, I think she's getting a little faster. She's getting more mobility in the ring. So I'm glad to see that Charlotte's at least picking up the pace in the ring, because when she first came back, she was very slow and it was hard for me to watch because I was like, man, this is not the Charlotte Flair that I watched, several years ago when after she took that break. But then again, so the end of this match, Alexa Bliss gives the Sister Abigail, and picks up the victory. These women, I feel like towards Mania, and you can quote me on this. I'm pretty sure you think the same thing. Towards Mania season, I think Alexa Bliss and Charlotte are going to be feuding in a match.
I did not think that. That's an interesting take. I want to see how everything plays off, because yes, they were talking about how Charlotte Flair was not there for her last week, and they're already saying stuff like, hey, they're not even really best friends, they're frenemies, and how long will this last? How can this go? You was talking about the stuff for Charlotte Flair. I've never been a big fan of Charlotte Flair, but I've always respected her work and her craft. I just wanted to sit here and say it's very hard to be the same person when I didn't know both her knees she had a knee brace. I'm not even gonna lie. I know she has one. I didn't know it was two. But it's hard to be the same performer when you've had that kind of injury. So
yeah.
I always sit here and go, I commend people, especially like her moveset, right? So at least I think so. I have two functioning legs. I would, if I had two bad legs, I would not be doing a moonsault and try to land on my leg, because it would really mess my mind up. So I do think when she's in the ring with certain people, she turns it up. But when she can, and I think the beauty about her being in a tag team for the time being, because she will be having a solo run eventually, as we all know, it does help reserve her body too. Because when you was mentioning all these matches, I'm like, man, those are matches that were almost 8 to 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's a long time. I mean, hey, look, I if you look at Rey Mysterio, 1996, 1997. He ain't doing that same stuff like he was doing like today. I mean, if he is, if he was, I would say, wow, that's really, really impressive. And, everyone knows how I feel about Rey Mysterio because he's a fraud. But yes, but I will give the man.
You don't like Rey Mysterio?
No, I don't.
What?
He stole from the greatest cruiserweight of all time.
He's a legend.
Okay.
Yeah. Honestly, if you really think about it, he's the only wrestler right now that's still wrestling from the 90s. Besides Jericho. He's the only wrestler.
So it's not just him, it's Jericho. So honestly.
Yeah, but let's be honest. How many matches have you seen Jericho wrestle in the last year or so? Maybe two, maybe three.
He took a little sabbatical. He took a little break. But you know what, Chris Jericho? He's earned it. I can't say that about Rey Mysterio. I don't think he's earned anything except deserve getting beat up. For being honest, like, what are we even talking about? Like, are you a Rey Mysterio fan? You seem bothered by it. Do you have a Rey Mysterio mask, the shirt?
No.
Do when his music play, you go Boudica? Because I don't. I immediately go ZZZ. That means I'm going to sleep. That's what's going on.
Yeah, but what? So who? What do you think he stole?
Oh, he stole everything from Juventud Guerrero. Honestly, Juventud Guerrero is an innovator. Rey Mysterio is a thief in the night. And I'm sorry that this is breaking to you. But yeah, no. Juventud Guerrero, the greatest cruiserweight of all time. And people, it's not just me saying it, by the way. There's a lot of people who's pointing out how great Juventud Guerrero is.
Well, I could battle you against on who's that, because there are several ones back in the day.
Can I sit here and say this real quick? I think it's important to throw this out here because this is my card of victory here. When I want to say she took a sabbatical or she wanted to come back, I don't know, but I remember this picture was taken. Mercedes Moné, when she was getting back into the game, you know who she trained with? Juventud Guerrero, not Rey Mysterio.
It didn't show.
You know, Vinny, I think you're just a hater.
It didn't show. She definitely didn't earn any of those belts.
I'm sorry. What? She didn't earn all 8 belts?
Absolutely not. Her last match was trash.
What, against Willow Nightingale?
Yeah, the last 3 matches were trash.
I just think you just don't like Mercedes Moné, and that's fine.
I don't
think it's trash. I think Mercedes Moné is she's fantastic. So please, we'll carry on. But I'm just going to sit here and say that one Juventud Guerrero, the greatest cruiserweight of all time. He was so great that WWE let him go because he was like, "No, you're too great, and we don't know what to do with you because of your greatness. Your greatness is outshining." I don't believe you.
I think he's better than him. Ultimo Dragon.
I like Ultimo Dragon.
Yeah,
Ultimo Dragon was great, but he wasn't greater than Juventud Guerrero. I'm sorry.
I would say Ultimo Dragon. I would say Eddie Guerrero.
Eddie Guerrero was good.
I would say La Parka.
No, absolutely not.
Absolutely
not. Absolutely not. So before the show, do you just have an open bottle of vodka and just do the show? Like, what are you talking about? What do you even mean?
I love classic. I love classic.
La Parka. The skeleton with the chair, and he absolutely not. He's not even top 5, and it's not. He's maybe top 5. Get on people's nerves and get up and go somewhere. But like La Parka, I think we have La Parka 2 now. So do you think Jade will lose it? No, I don't. I love this conversation. I could talk about some classic cruiserweights. The cruiserweights in the 90s were fantastic, and leading the charge was Juventud Guerrero. Yes. Matt fact.
All right, so let's talk about Cody Rhodes comes to the ring, and he starts the promo off by saying that Drew McIntyre is just that damn good. I'm going to disagree with you, Cody. I think last week's win with Drew McIntyre was a shammy, and I think it was a shitty ending to a match where Cody gets attacked and Drew McIntyre crawls out of the ring to win the title. That was definitely a hand me. Let's hand Drew McIntyre the belt. There was nothing in those 3 matches that screamed Drew McIntyre deserves his belt. I'm gonna tell you that right now. All 3 of those matches were very, very, very short. They were very short. Do I think Cody should have the belt still? I'm not saying that, but I hate when they put the belt on somebody and take it away within 3 months. I hate that.
Oh, you're talking about with Drew McIntyre because I'm with you. I don't see him going into Mania with that championship.
Oh no.
I think they just wanted to switch it up. And sometimes that's okay to shake up the system a little
Yeah,
bit.
but there's so many people though.
Like who? Like who else could have took that championship off of Cody Rhodes?
Oh my God, bro. I mean,
Randy. You want to say Randy?
I mean, give it. I mean, you can give it to Rainey for his last run. I mean, you could give it to you can give it. I would have maybe tried to give it to Solo, Jacob Fatu. I mean, these are people that are.
I would like Solo. Solo is funny to me. I can't see it just because of the position he is on the card. But Jacob, I think, is someone that they want to. It's just not the time right now. I think Jacob's time. I don't know because there's a lot of people saying he's going to do it. I don't know if I'm as strongly in that camp like everybody else, but I can understand when you say Jacob. But like right now, and look how that feud was set up. Drew had to win. If he didn't, and it's cool if you disagree, that is fine. But like Drew had to, he was, oh my God, Drew, every time he went in there, he was getting his ass kicked. And I'm not even saying like, oh man, Cody was beating the hell out of him. He turned into Gal and he beat this guy up. I'm not even saying all that. All I'm simply saying is every time he came in the ring, he lost. And then Drew would sit here and make all these evil, devilish plans and sit here and say, this is what's going to happen, and I'm going to win. It became to a point where you couldn't even take him seriously. So he had to win, and they wanted to protect Cody. So, look, I didn't see the 3 stages. Look, 3 hours of SmackDown. I salute you guys.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
It is. I salute you guys going on after 11 because I immediately looked at the show and I said, you're not going to hold me hostage. And I went to sleep at 10:30. So I didn't watch these matches, and I heard how the matches were, where like the first match was really quick, and what was the other one? Falls Count Anywhere, and the match wasn't as fun because they don't take advantage of that stipulation. And the cage match, they were going to protect Cody Rhodes. They wasn't going to have him get pinned like that. So they said, you know what? Let's find a way. And they did it in a way where they had Jacob attack him, Drew, and then attack Cody. And this looked like this is going to be the setup for Royal Rumble, where it's going to be a triple threat. So they try to do this thing where they try to kill, I don't even know if it was 2 birds with 1 stone. I think they wanted to kill a few birds with this stone. So that's what they wanted to do, and that's how we got to where we got to.
Right.
So yeah. So I don't even mind Drew having the title for 3 months. I really don't. I mean, it's something, and I think Drew has worked hard, and he earned it. I mean, he just you could say earn it or deserve it. I think
Sure, we'll go with that. We'll go with that.
Deserve it because look, he held the champion. He won the championship in 2020. No one was out there. There was no crowd, obviously. And then he wins it at Royal Rumble 2 years. I mean, Royal Rumble. Apologies. WrestleMania, and he holds it for 5 minutes. So yeah, they're gonna probably sit here and go like, "Hey, let's give him a small run." And even then, is that a bad thing? There's people who held the time. Kane won the championship at the pay-per-view and lost that Monday night the next day. Christian won at that, I forget what pay-per-view it was, and that SmackDown used to be taped on Tuesdays. He lost it on Tuesday, but they aired it on Friday. Let him have a little run. Why not? Let's shake up the system a little bit.
Well, let's talk about this great t-shirt slogan that Cody said tonight, and let's talk about his declaring himself into the 2026 Royal Rumble. He said he compared himself to legends like Shawn Michaels, Steve Austin, and Hulk Hogan, having back-to-back Royal Rumble wins. Cody is saying that he's going to be a back-to-back winner. Also, he said he's going to beat the brakes off his ass. And he's talking about Jacob Fatu. That's a great slogan for a t-shirt. I might have to take that and put it what do you call it? Oh God.
What, on a shirt?
Yeah, but what do you call it when you take the word and you trademark it? I might have to trademark that.
Yeah, so I don't know why he wants to do this to Jacob's ass, but okay. No judgment here by any means. Cody's promo, I caught this. So when I was watching it, I thought it was interesting because I don't say he was coming off heelish, but he definitely had a little bit more edge because he said
It did.
you know,
It did seem heelish.
yeah, and I kind of was liking that a little bit because
I
Cody,
thought it was going to turn.
I didn't think right away. I just thought maybe they're putting the seeds in, and I like this because I like Cody. I think Cody's a fine champion. I think he's not like my favorite wrestler of all time, but I think he's okay. I think he's fine. I think when you play the baby face and you play the cut clean baby face and all that stuff, it's hard because a lot of people don't want that. A lot of people are like, oh my God, you're goody two shoe. We need some edge. And I'm not talking about Adam Copeland, but you need something like that. So I thought it was interesting when he was pointing out, like, that I don't have everything that he said, but there was a lot of things that he was saying. Like sometimes I start off with, what do you want to talk about? And, maybe it's becoming the norm and maybe we got to shake it up. I think it's good for Cody. I think Cody needs a little something to shake things up for him so he can, to add layers to the Cody Rhodes persona.
I agree. I definitely agree with you. I don't think Cody Rhodes is going to win the Rumble again. If I had to pick right now on who's going to take the Royal Rumble right now, I'm going to say Braun Breaker.
Ooh, I've heard people chatter. So the two picks I would hear is Braun Breaker and Roman Reigns.
Why? Why Roman? Why Roman again? Why?
I think because the possibility of having him and Cody at WrestleMania for a third time. I'm good with
That's what we want to. That's what we want to see.
I don't.
Yeah, exactly. I don't either.
I don't necessarily. Listen, that last one that they had at 40, I'm not saying it was a in-ring masterpiece, but man, it got me pumped when he's had all these people. It was a Marvel movie, the way these guys were coming in and interfering in this match. Yeah, I don't necessarily care to see it. I understand the history and the lore here, but I would be okay without it.
So let's talk about this. Let's talk about Matt Cardona coming back to the WWE after what 5 years that he was gone from WWE? I think it was 5.
Yeah, close to it. Yeah, you're right. Close to it.
So they bring him back, and he is in a #1 contenders undisputed championship match with Trick Williams. I never thought that this was going to be. I love how all 4 matches tonight were with people that I know they would never pull the trigger on to become world champion. Like I love how they did that. Like if you for a slight second thought that Matt Cardona or The Miz, who else we got?
We had Solo,
which I mean, I think Solo could be, but not right now. And then you had you had Sammy, and then you had Dragon was Dragunov.
Yep.
So it's funny how they just pick random people to be in a tournament, knowing that half of them aren't going to see that status for a hell of a long time. But this match with Cardona looked good. He really did. He looked good. You can definitely tell that he's aged out of the ring with some moves. A lot of his moves that he used to do he's a lot slower with that. Which I mean we all know with time,
comes age.
Yeah, his age. So
yeah, it comes age, yeah.
But I feel like Trick has a big future ahead of him. I really do.
100%. I love this call up for him. I think Trick is. So I do the review show on Tuesdays, and the pleasure and the honor of doing that show is you get to see what the future looks like. And when reviewing the show, you see Carmelo Hayes, you see Trick Williams, and coming up soon, Obafemi. You see all these great talents, and you're just like, man, I got to see them in their early stages and develop into what they are now. Trick Williams is money. Look, is he going to be WWE champion now? No. Is there potential for it? Yeah. He here's the thing about Trick. Is he the most fanciest wrestler in the world? No. But he can talk. And that's going to get him places. You know who else was a great talker, but not necessarily the best wrestler in the world? Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Look at him.
Yeah.
And I think there's potential in that. I know those are some really, really big shoes, but I think Trick is going to go places. And I think also too him being in NXT for another another year or something like that. Him getting to turn into having that heel run and doing what he was doing what he did there was great for him because he's ready for this roster. And hey, maybe down the line he does win the United States Championship, and it doesn't have to be off of Mello. It could be just down the line. He's new on the roster. I love that they're putting spotlight on him, and I love that he's being in this. This is a big deal for him to be in the fatal. He won his match against Matt Cardona, and I think it's a really, really big deal for him to be in. It's a really big deal for him to be in this fatal four-way with people like Randy. When you're rubbing shoulders with Randy Orton and Damian Priest, I know a lot of people talk about how cold that he got, but listen, he held the World Heavyweight Championship for a few months. And obviously the company loves him. They keep putting him in these big time situations. And Sami Zayn, say what you will about him, he's somebody as well too. These are some heavy hitters to be in the ring with. So I love this for him. Is my point. And the stuff with Matt Cardona. Every chance I get, I'll sit here and say this. I love that he worked his ass off and was able to get back into the WWE. Is he going to be, once again, because I felt like that's always the conversation. Oh, is he going to be WWE champion? Probably not. But you know what? He's got his dream job back. He might do some great thing. Hey, they might pair him and Chelsea Green together, and they might be able to do something together, and it might be magic. So, I expected him not to win. Good on Trick.
Yeah, Trick Williams did pick up the victory tonight. Again, he looks good. I'm going to say something real quick, and then we're going to move on.
Sure.
When I saw Trick back at NXT when he first came out with Carmelo Hayes, I honestly did not see any potential in Trick Williams like I do now. And that could be just me, not looking outside the box, or that could also be me. But that time back then, they were not trying to push Trick Williams in that aspect. To me, it reminded me of a Shawn Michaels Diesel character that they were doing back then.
Oh, for sure. I think that's what they were totally going for. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. I love having conversations with wrestling fans, at least like sane ones, because some of them are out of their fucking mind. But like, I mean, I've been on that boat too, where I saw somebody and I said, I don't see it. And then not even years later, but as time goes on, you're like, oh, my bad. I didn't even recognize your game. And the stuff with Trick, they were definitely putting more of the spotlight on Carmelo Hayes. And when they did let Trick have his moment, he did shine, and they gave him a bigger role. What it was as time went on, they gave him a bigger role, and they gave an opportunity for you to be like, I didn't see that on day one. Okay, cool. My bad. But carry on. Carry on.
We did forget to talk about the pull apart we had tonight with all the referees and Nick Aldis tonight. After Cody Rhodes promo, Jacob Fatu comes in the ring, and these guys. Oh no, sorry, Jacob Fatu comes out to do a promo. And Cody Rhodes comes out, and then they start battling in the ring, which leads us to next Saturday at Saturday Night's Main Event. We are going to see, and it's confirmed, Cody Rhodes taking on Jacob Fatu next week. It's Saturday night, right?
It's Saturday Night Main Event. Yeah, it's
Okay.
Next Saturday. Yeah. But even then, with that match, they're going to brawl. Drew's going to interfere, and this is going to be that setup for the Royal Rumble.
Right.
So I can see that being a triple threat for the WWE Championship, because they all don't like each other.
Let's talk about our third qualifying match for the number one contendership in the Fatal 4-Way for next Saturday's Saturday Night Main Event. We have Damian Priest and Solo Sikoa. May I tell you, Damian Priest has come so far from when he was in NXT. I honestly, when I saw him back then, I did not think he was going to be as big as he was. and this goes for everybody, honestly. And I'm saying this because I know how WWE runs NXT, and they've changed it a lot. But I remember going to NXT and then seeing how hot these wrestlers are, like No Way Jose or Damian Priest, Ricochet, Aleister Black, like these guys were freaking rock hard. Like these guys were solid pieces. Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano.
Yeah.
I always say when you go to the main roster, it's like the kiss of death. Like they bring you to the main roster and they have nothing for you. Like they're throwing you in with the wolves because they know that there's nothing for you. That's not the case with Damian Priest. Damian Priest came onto the main roster and they immediately threw him in with storylines, and within 2 or 3 years of him being on the main roster, he becomes champion.
Right.
So
Yeah. Yo, go ahead.
no, I'm done.
No, yeah, no, Damian Priest, yeah, no, he's come a long way, world champion, and it looked like he's trying to get back to that position again because you know, um, he's been cool since he's left the Judgment Day in that feud, and he had that long feud with Aleister Black, so he's trying to get back on top. So
Do you know
fine.
who Solo Sikoa reminds me of?
Who?
Samoa Joe. They're just
Why?
I feel like they're built the same way, and they fight the same way. They're both brawlers.
Samoa Joe's a little bit more agile than even at this age, a little bit more agile than Solo Sikoa.
But
I
you
see what
get
mean
my
by that,
flow, right?
Slightly. I mean, I see
Slightly.
what
This
you mean.
guy said slightly.
Slightly. No, because I don't like. I see what you're saying about like you're talking about the body type, and it's just like I kind of see what you're saying, but they have two different body types, and yeah. So yeah, no, they're two different, but stuff. But go ahead, carry on.
Okay, so